I have these indent markers. Okay? If I hover the mouse right here, it says first line indent. Here it says hanging indent, and here this bottom square is a left indent. So just to review, if I type in equals RAND, and I want the one paragraph of, no, I want two paragraphs of, let's say, 5 sentences, closing parentheses, and press enter. This is what I get. So remember, this is just dummy text that's built in. So if I click I'm going to press Control and A to highlight everything. Now, if I click the first one right here, the first pop arrow, first line indent, it's just going to indent the first line of every paragraph. And as you can see, it's an upside down triangle. If I click the second triangle right here, and you have to be very, very precise. There you go. Okay, it's hanging indent. If I do this and left click and drag over, it's going to drag the everything except the first line. And if I click the bottom square right here, hold it, left click and drag, it's going to indent everything. So now I'm just gonna undo that. Okay, I'm gonna press Control A and delete all that. So now yesterday I spoke about this little section of the screen. I have here what is called left tab. If I click it, I have this center tab. And if I click it again, I have a right tab. And there are more options, but I just wanted to focus on the left and the right. This might be a handy option thing for you in case you have to create a column. So for example, I'm going to go here and click here, left, make sure it's pressed. And then I'm going to just I'm going to click right here under the one, put the mouse right here near the one, and left click. And when I do that, this is transferred right here underneath the one. So I've created an indent. Okay, so if I press my tab, it's going to go right up to the marker. Okay? And I can move this marker anywhere I want. If I put the mouse right over it and just left click, okay, I can move it anywhere I want. Okay? So let me just put it back. And if I press tab, it's going to go right to that marker. So I'm going to just press Control Z to undo this. I'm put it right there. Now I'm going to click this one again, this left tab, and I'm going to click it until I get the center tab. And now I'm going to put my mouse right here and left click. So now I have a center tab there. And then I'm going to click this again until I get the right tab. And then I'm going to move right, let's say right here on the 14th and click 14. All right, so now I have left, center, and right tabs. So the left is at the number 1 position. The center is at, let me move that to 8. I'm going to just left click and drag that to 8. And the right tab is at the 14th position. So this is very handy when you want to create, let's say, a column. Here I have 3 columns here. So I'm going to type in the word, I'm going to type in continent. I'm going to press my tab, and that's going to go right to the center, okay? I'm going to type in the word country. And then I'm going to press my tab again, and that's going to go to the last tab. And I'm going to type, let's say, capital. So I'm going to press my enter, and I'm going to press my tab again, and that's going to take me to my left tab. I'm going to just type in North America. Let's say North M. Press my tab, and I'm going to type in, let's say, Canada. Press my tab again. I'm going to type in Ottawa. And I'm going to do that again. Press my tab. I'm going to type in, let's say, South America. Press my tab again. Let's just try Argentina. Press my tab again. And the capital of Argentina, I think, is Santiago or Buenos Aires. I think Buenos Aires. I'll just say BA. And I made a mistake here, so I'm going to put the mouse right over it, right click, and look for the spelling suggestions, and it's Ottawa. All right, so now I've got a nice, well-ordered set of columns here. And as you can see here, the center column is important because everything is centered. It is going to be equal from this line right here, number 8. If I put the mouse right here and press, I'm getting this line here. So all these middle the country values are all going to be aligned properly at equidistant from the 8 broken line. So they're equal from that. Right. So that's just one of the things you can use with this function right here. So now, if I want to get rid of, so I'm going to say Control A and delete that. And yeah, that should get rid of all the markers too. All right, now I'm gonna just create another paragraph again. I'm gonna type in equals RA and D, and I want one paragraph of, let's say, 2 sentences. Closing parentheses. All right, no, I'm gonna put my cursor right here, the insertion point before video. Click that. Now, if you look at your computer keyboard, you'll see a home and an end key. If I press end, the end will always take me to the last line from where the cursor was. Okay? So if I, let's say, go to, if I put the cursor right here, and if I press end, it's always going to go to the last line. If I press home, it's going to go to the, last character of the sentence. If I press home, it's going to go back to the first character. So let me go up to video. I'm going to press on my keyboard, press end, and that takes me to the very end. If I press home, it's going to take me to the first position again. Okay, let's see, review, copy and paste. Does anyone have any questions about yesterday, like what we did? They need clarification on? Let me check the chat room here. Okay. Okay, so that's there's some things we have to cover, which I wasn't able to cover. All right, so headers and footers. Most of you know what a header and a footer is. Okay, so let me just go into insert. So when I go into insert, this tab here, the insert tab, I have this ribbon of tools here. If I go to this section right here, and once again, all these tools are divided by vertical lines, and that means it's a distinct group. So here, this line here and this line here are saying that this is the header and footer group, and this is the name of the group. So here I have header and here I have footer. If I click this one right here, header, so this is what comes up. So the header allows me to insert information on the top margin of the document. Okay? So if I'm gonna just click this one right here, blank 3 columns. So first of all, when I click it, I get these options here. I get blank 3 columns, Boston, banded. A lot of times people just use a blank, or they'll use the 3 columns. I'm going to click this one, 3 columns. And this is what happens. So I have a broken line right here. I have the word header, and I have this information up here. So here, what it's saying to me is that I can just go in here, click that, and I can type some information here. Okay, let's say I'm going to type the author's name. Let's say the author's name is Joe. And I can go right here, click this, and as you can see, when I click it, all that information is highlighted. I can type in, let's say, the name of the document. Well, let's just call it an essay. And if I go here, I can put some information here, or I can just delete that. Now, if I press my escape key, okay, this is what happens. So I press the escape key to get out of that. Just bear that in mind. A lot of people get stuck in that and they can't get out of it. So let me just go back in there. So after you put the information here, to get out of this, you just press on your keyboard escape. Okay. And as you can see now, the font has changed color. It's now grayed out. So this is my header. So if I go into Control and P, press Control P, and let me make this a little bigger. I'm going to go down right here, zoom in. So this is what's going to be printed out. Yeah, let me just. Now, if I want, I can also create footers. The headers and the footers in Microsoft Word are not that great compared to, let's say, Excel. You'll see Excel is much more versatile. So I'm going to go back into Insert, and this time I'm going to press Footer. So now this is going to go to the bottom. So once again, if you hover, if you're not sure what a command is, just hover the mouse over it and look for the screen tip, and that'll give you information. And it may give you a shortcut. In this case, there's no shortcut, keyboard shortcut. So I'm going to just click this one right here, and I get these same options coming up here. So I'm going to just click this one right here, blank. And now it's going to position itself right here at the bottom margin. So this is now the footer. So it's at the foot of the page. And this is the header. So it's at the head of the page. And also here I can just go in and I'm going to type in some information. I'm going to say, I'll just say hello. Right now, to get out of this, just press the escape key, and that'll get you out of the headers and footers. Okay, I'm going to press Control A. Actually, no, I'm just going to create a new document. Does anyone remember the shortcut key for creating a new document? It's Control and what? Anyone remember?
Control and
Yeah, Control and N. Yeah, very good. So Control and N is going to give me a new document. So I press Control, hold it, and press N. Now the Control key is kind of a master key, right? When you use the Control key, you always have to keep it pressed, and you might have to press another key and a third key. So just remember that. So I press Control, held it, and pressed the letter N as in Norman, and that opens a new document here. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the page breaks. So we didn't talk about page breaks. If I go, this is a problem I've seen people do a lot. I'm just going to go into Insert. Okay, if I go into Insert, I have this option right here, this group of the tools under Pages. So this group is called Pages, and it has these tools underneath. I have this option right here, this tool called Page Break. Before I click that, let me just insert some data in here. I'm just going to say equals rand, open parentheses, and I want 2 paragraphs of, let's say, 10 sentences, and the closing parentheses, and press enter. All right, so I get this dummy text, just meaningless text. I mean, I shouldn't say it's meaningless. It's kind of instructive, but it's just meant to be used for instructional purposes. So I've got 2 paragraphs here. Let me make this a little smaller. So I'm going right here to the bottom right, and you'll see this plus and minus. So I'm pressing the minus sign to make it smaller. Right now, when people, I've seen this, they do this often. I've seen people do this when they want to, let's say, put this on a new page. Okay, let's say they want to put it down to a new page. The instinct is usually to put the mouse right here, the cursor, and press the enter key, and you keep pressing enter, 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 okay, until you go to the next page. That's not a good idea, okay? Because if I were to go into Home and press the Pilcrow, so I go into Home and press this Pilcrow, okay? It's called a Pilcrow. It's like a reverse P. And this is going to show me all the formatting symbols. Excuse me. So if I press this, this is what I get here. Okay, so I get all these paragraph markers, and that's not good because that's just extra information that has to be processed by Microsoft Word. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so let me just go back up. I'm going to press backspace. I'm going to hold my backspace. Okay. Okay, so what you want to do, if I want to create a new page and include information, I'm going to put the mouse right here. And there are a couple of ways you can do this. click the mouse right here. I'm going to go into insert, and I'm going to click page break, and that's going to insert a page break right here. Now, as you can see, there are no Pilcrow symbols anymore. So now it's much more cleaner. Okay. And it puts it at the right place. So let me just do that again. Control and Z. And so once again, you go put the mouse, click the insertion point, the cursor where you want it, left click. I'm going to put it right here. I can do it right here too. I'm going to put it right here in front of this word here, left. So now I'm going to go into insert and click here, page break. Okay, and as you can see, it's going to move everything down from where I put the cursor. I'm going to press Control and Z, and I'm going to do that again. Another way of doing it is pressing Control and Enter. Okay, so Control and Enter is the shortcut key. Right, let me press Control Z. So I'm going to put the mouse right here, the cursor, press Control and Enter, and I get the same effect. So with the shortcut keys, Microsoft has designed all their applications to run, I'd say 99% with shortcut keys. If you don't have a mouse, Microsoft said, okay, you can use your keyboard. So for example, if I press Alt, the Alt key on my keyboard, if I press it, that happens, okay, that appears. I see these letters appearing on the ribbon. And the letters tell me that if I want to access, let's say, the page break, I can click H. So now that I'm already in insert, I can click H. Okay, oops, sorry, let me just do that again. Go back into insert, Alt, and sorry, my mistake. Okay, so when I press Alt, I have F for file, H for home, N for insert, JI for draw, G for design, and so on. If I press N, okay, N will allow me to access all the functions in this particular tab. Okay, so let me just do that again. I'm going to press Alt, the Alt key, the Alt key, press it. Oops. Okay. Now, if I want to go into home and access the functions there, I press H. Now this appears. Now, if I want, let's say, to access the bold, I press the 1. Okay, and that will bold whatever I highlight. So let me just show that to you. I'm going to just so I'm going to click the mouse right here. I'm going to press Shift and use my right arrow key and highlight that word video. Now I'm going to press Alt, and I'm not using the mouse. Okay, so I press Alt, and I'm going to press H, and now I'm going to press 1. Okay, and now that bolds that particular word. So just bear that in mind. If you don't have a mouse, Microsoft designed these applications to be used without a mouse. So you can, in theory, do almost anything with a mouse. You just need, without the mouse, you just need the keyboard, and you just have to know that key, Alt, okay, and that'll open up the codes. Okay, does anyone have any questions? I mean, for example, all these, I'm showing you a lot of steps, okay? Now, we're not going to say to you, okay, what are the steps involved to, let's say, set the margins, okay? No, we might just say, well, is this symbol a left or right margin? Does it indent from the left or the right? And you'll have multiple choice questions. Okay, so it's going to be it'll be fairly intuitive in some ways. Okay, now I was going to talk about the left and right justification. All right, so I'm going to just remove the Pilcrow here. So I'm going to go into Home and remove the formatting symbols. So I'm going to click right here and show hide. Okay, I can also press Control and the star. Okay, so I press Control and the multiplication should go away, unless that's not the star. Let me just see. Control, I can't see that symbol too well. Not sure what it is. Okay, let me just remove it. Okay, now I'm going to press Control and A to highlight this. I'm going to press Control and C to copy it. Okay, I'm going to go down here, maybe go down one space and press Control V. And sorry, let me just again need to delete this. Delete that. Okay, I just deleted the page marker there. All right, so now I've got the two paragraphs that I created. Now, if you look at this side is nicely streamlined. Okay, it's aligned properly. This side here is not aligned properly. If I press Control and A, select everything, and if I go here under paragraphs, I have these lines here. If I hover the mouse here, this is the align left, and the control key, the shortcut key is Control and L. If I go here, this is the center. Okay, I can press Control and E. If I go here, this is Control and R. And if I go here, this is justify. So what does this mean? Okay, if I click this one right here, align left, click it, nothing happens because it's already aligned properly to the left. If I go right here to this one right here, align right, okay, as you can see, everything is going to align perfectly to the right, but the left alignment is going to be gone. If I go right here and click center, okay, now everything is aligned center. So Microsoft Word looks for a center point and makes every sentence equidistant from that center point. The thing that most people use is this one right here, justify. If I click justify, okay, everything is aligned properly. So just remember that the left align will align everything to the left, and you will lose the right alignment. So there's no more proportion here. Here, the center alignment just centers everything. The right alignment will align everything on the right side. And the one that's most commonly used is this one, the justify. So if I press Control and J, make sure everything is highlighted. Press Control and J. Okay, so everything is aligned properly. Now, if I want, I'm going to just highlight this paragraph right here. And I'm going to go here and align left. As you can see, I can align whatever I highlight. Yeah, so whatever you highlight is going to be aligned to the exclusion of everything else. So on an exam or quiz, you're not going to say what are the steps. I won't ask you to say, well, what are the exact steps to align? I mean, that's kind of a little unattainable for a lot of people. I mean, including myself. I mean, I've got office certifications in Microsoft Expert and Associate certifications, but I also kind of forget this stuff, even though I spent many years working with it. Because if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So you have to also just keep practicing regularly. All right, so okay, and let me just go here. Okay, and now we're just going to go into layout. And yesterday we talked about the margins. Okay, so here, if I click margins, I have these inbuilt margins settings. And I have, let's say, last custom setting, I have normal, narrow, moderate. And all that it does is, if you look at the drawings, the iconic drawings, it just says what the margins will be set to. So if I click, let's say, narrow, this is what I'm going to get. The margins are going to be narrowed. And it'll appear like this. And I also get this appearing right here. So I can change the margins here as well. Let me go back here. And I'm going to click, let's say, wide. And that's what I get here. So I'm going to go back here and go back to normal. Okay, no. Now this is now just for your information, there's a handy thing here that a lot of people don't use very often. And this is not on the exam. This is just for your information. Okay. If you go into layout and if you go into columns, if you click column, if you hover the mouse over the column, just hover it, the screen tip appears. It says, gives you information about what it does. If I click, so I'm going to highlight. I'm going to highlight everything. Go into columns, and now I can create columns here. I'm going to go down here to more columns. And I'm going to create columns in this these two paragraphs. And I want, let's say, 2 columns, and I want a line between. And when I click OK, this is what I get. So it creates a column here, and it moves everything to the left column. Let me press Control Z to undo that. If I go back in here, columns, and let me go into more columns. Okay, so now I have all these options here. I can, let's say create 3 columns, and I want it to only affect the selected text. So let me just say selected text, and that's what I get here. Okay, so it puts everything into 2 columns. So I have actually 3 columns here. If I look here, I have 1 column here, 1 right here, and I can put information here. So if I start typing, let's say here, I'm gonna just start typing. Yeah, I'm just gonna type. Okay, as you can see, it just goes. Let me get rid of this Velcro. That's distracting. It just goes on to the next line here. So yeah, the columns is a pretty handy thing to have if you want to create columns without always manipulating the indents. Let me press Control Z to undo that. Undo that. Control Z again. Just keep pressing it. This Word document. He's just saying change the style, add some color, maybe change the font size, maybe add a picture. Okay, so formatting has to do with the graphics. Okay, the coloring, the font size, the font style. It deals more with what's the word? It's not aesthetics. Okay, aesthetics. How pleasing it looks. If you look here, the formatting or the aesthetics looks very nice. I've got a border here, a yellow-orange border. I've got a picture here. I've got nice coloring here. I have some coloring here. I've got a list here and pictures and so on. Okay? So that's formatting. So I'm going to press my subtitle. I forget how I got to get rid of that subtitle thing. Okay, so fonts are part of formatting. Okay, so fonts are character sets for text. So you can apply a font, you can apply a font size and font effects. So we talked about that yesterday. I'll just review it in a second. So formatting tools enable you to organize text by aligning it on the page and using bulleted or numbered list. And we'll get to that as well. So let me just next. Okay, and we can apply several steps with styles. Okay, and we'll talk about styles as well. Okay, so here we'll talk about the skills you should learn are changing the font and the font size, using the formatting tools, applying styles, aligning text, format paragraph and line spacing. So this is the material that we'll cover today. And some of it we did cover yesterday. All right, so let's just let's talk about font and font size again. So I'm just gonna do number 1 right now. I'm gonna exit out of here. I'm gonna go back into Microsoft Word. Okay, I'm gonna press my Control. Once again, the Control key is a master key on your keyboard, and I think it's a Command key on the Mac. You just press it, and here I'm pressing and holding it, and I'm using my mouse scroll wheel. Okay. Whenever you buy a mouse, make sure it has a scroll wheel on it. That makes things a little easier. So I'm pressing the Control key and holding it and moving my scroll wheel. Oops, let me put it here. Okay, I'm moving my scroll wheel to make it bigger, make the picture bigger, the image. Okay, so once again, so formatting tools. These are some of the formatting tools you'll use. You go under Home, and you click Home, and I have all these tools right here. So if you want to format, I have bold, italic. Now, once again, if I hover the mouse over the B, the screen tip appears, and it tells me what it does. I can make my text bold, and I can use the Control B shortcut keys. Okay. Okay, we'll go for a break in about 5 minutes. Is that okay? Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Great. Okay. So here, I have the format. I have some format tools right here. And once again, if I hover the mouse over one of these tools, like this one, it tells me what it does and the shortcut keys. Right. So here I'm going to, let's say I'm going to just left click and highlight this word right here. Powerful. And now I'm going to format this. I can go right here and press B with my mouse, or I can do this. I'm going to press the Alt key. Okay, and I think the Mac users, Huda, I don't think you can do this. Okay, you can confirm that with
No, I
me.
can't. Yeah.
You can't do that, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry. Okay, so for the Windows users, okay, you just press the Alt key, and then you get this. Okay, you press H, that'll take you into the Home tab, and now I just have to press, let's say, the number 1. I want bold. Again, bold is number 1 right here. It's number 1. Okay, and that's what I get. So as you can see, the key is now pressed. Let me press Control Z to undo that. I'm going to highlight. I'm going to highlight this whole sentence right here. Now I'm going to press the italics and the underline. But instead of pressing it, I'm going to press the Alt key again. Press Alt. Press my H key, okay, because H key has the format tools. So press H. And now I'm going to press for italic is I press 2, and I can press. Can I press 3? No. Okay, so I got to press 1 at a time. So press Alt, and let's say H, and I'm going to press 3. And that gives me a list of underlines, and I'm just going to press Enter, and that's what I get right there. Okay, so using the Alt key for the Windows users, I don't know why they haven't done this for the Mac, right? Because I've been looking for that and I couldn't find any evidence that Microsoft has allowed that for the Mac. Oh, I think I know why. Oh, there was an issue with compatibility with the inbuilt keys for the Apple operating system. So I think that was the issue. Okay. So now let me just click out of here to get rid of the underline here. And now, okay, so now I'm going to do something. I'm going to just highlight all this again. I'm going to go up here, go to font, click the chevron here, the down arrow, click it. And now I'm going to change the style. Okay, I'm going to click, let's say, okay, depending on your version of Microsoft Word, the more current your version, the more style options you'll have. Okay, if you have an older version of Microsoft Word, like Word 2010 or 2013, you may not have as many style options here. Right, so I'm going to go down here. I'm going to change this to, let's say, I'm not sure what this is, Aptos Black. Let's say Aptos Light. Okay, and that's what I get here. I'd still highlight it because I still want to do some other stuff here. I'm going to go and change the color. Click right here. And here are theme colors, and here are standard colors. And theme colors we'll talk about later. I'm going to go down here and click standard, and I want, let's say, green. Let's say this color, that's dark blue. And make sure it's bold. Click right here, bold. So I did that. So now this is what I have here. Now, what if I want to remove the formatting? Someone gives me a document and there's all sorts of colors and formatting in it. Do I have to just highlight everything and just undo everything, like manually click everything? No, you can just highlight everything and you click right here. Clear all formatting. And when I click it, all the formatting is gone. So just remember that when you, if I format this, I'm going to format again. I'm going to say, let's say bold, italic, underline, change the color. And if I want to get rid of all that, instead of pressing all those keys again, I just highlight everything, left click and highlight. So left click and drag on your mouse. And if you don't have a mouse, you can just use your keyboards. So I'm going to use my up arrow key. Okay, so I'm using my arrow keys on my keyboard. Move the mouse. Just move it over here. I'm going to press my shift key and hold it. And I'm going to press the right arrow key, and that highlights everything. Okay, so I'm not using my mouse. And then I'm going to go and press Alt. And I'm going to press H. And that key is E. So I'm going to press E. And that removes everything there.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Using the keyboard to highlight that sentence, can you repeat the step
Yeah,
again?
sure. No
Press
problem. Yeah.
the shift. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, to move the cursor, the insertion point, the flashing black line, I can use the up, down, right arrow key. So I'm just pressing the up arrow key. Okay. If I want to move to the left, I press the left. I'm pressing the left arrow key. If I hold it, I can move the cursor without always pressing it. So if I press the right arrow key and hold it, I'm moving the cursor to the right. If I press the down arrow key and hold it, I can move all the way down. And now I'm going to press the right up arrow key and move all the way up. All right, so now, okay, so how do I highlight without the mouse? Okay, so it depends where you want, where you put the insertion point, the cursor. All right, so I'm going to put the cursor right here. Now, the trick is to just press and hold the shift key at this point. You press and hold the shift key, and then you can press that's your left arrow key. So I keep pressing left arrow key, that's what happens. Okay, so let me just do that again. I'm gonna this time press the shift key, and I'm gonna press the right arrow key. And if I keep pressing the right arrow key, this is what happens. It's going to highlight everything. Now, if I press the down arrow key from this point, okay, it's going to highlight everything and just go straight down. If I keep my finger on the shift key, press the down arrow, okay, this is what happens. If I keep my finger on the shift key and press the up arrow, okay, I can just move right there. Okay, so the trick is to press the shift key first, and then the left arrow or the right arrow or the up and down arrow key. Okay, so let's Control and A, and I'm going to delete this. All right, so now if I go back into Home, I have another set of formatting, and this is called Styles. And if you look here, you see the word Styles, and you see these options here. And here I have normal, no spacing, heading 1, heading 2, title style. If I click here, if I just click right here, the down arrow, okay, so if you see this right here, if you see one chevron pointing down, another out, up, and this one right here, you click it, you get more options. All it does is it simply it expands this and shows you what else is there. So you can just click it, and you can see more options here. All right, so what is a style? A style is one of those things that it has a function, but it also has a special purpose, and it's used really in special cases. For example, and it's used with creating a table of content. Now I'll show you how the style is used for creating a table of content. You don't have to know how to use the table of content, but it's good for you if you for you to see how to do it. All right, so here I'm going to create a heading. I'm going to say Canada. I'm going to go down and I'm going to say, let's say France. I'm going to press enter, and let's say I'm going to say China. I'm going to press enter, and let's say I'm going to say let's say Oman. And I'll press enter again, and let's say I'm going to say let's say Jamaica. All right, so I've got these 5 countries here. So now I'm going to go on the internet and I'm going to steal some. I'm going to steal some text. When I say steal, I'm going to copy and paste it, and it's very easy to do that. I'm going to before I do that, I'm going to click the mouse right up here under After Canada, Now I'm going to go into a browser, and I'm going to open up Google Chrome. You can use Google Chrome, uh, the Safari. You can use Windows, right? So I'm going to click here. Here I have my chat assistant. I'm just going to click the plus sign here, and I'm going to type in Canada in the browser. And I'm going to go to Wikipedia right here and click Canada. All right, so now I want to, whenever you go to a web page, you can copy the text if you want, using Control-C and Control-V to paste. So I want to copy the first paragraph right here. Okay, so I'm going to put the mouse right here, left click, drag, and highlight. Okay, so now everything is highlighted. So now I'm going to, I can do this thing on my key. I can press Control-C or Command-C. So press Control and C, or I can right click in the middle of the text where it's highlighted. Just right click and click here, copy. So once again, when you right click any application, you'll get a menu. And here I have these options here. So I want this one copy. And here's the shortcut key, Control C. I'm going to press copy. Now I'm going to go back into my Microsoft Word document. And I'm going to, let's say, I'm going to just press enter, and I'm going to say Control and V. And this is what I get here. Let me just close the door for a second. Hold on. Okay, so it copied that paragraph, and as you can see, it copied the formatting as well. Now, if you don't want the formatting, if you don't want the color blue in there, if you look right here, you'll see this option right here. You'll see like a chalkboard or stencil board. Okay, now if I go over here, move the mouse slowly, and click the arrow, the down arrow, I get these options here. Okay, so if you don't want the formatting, you just have to move slowly and click the down arrow until you get these options, and click this one right here. Okay, where it says just the A and the stencil board, you click that one, and that'll remove the formatting. So now I have Canada, and I have Canada as a country in North America. Okay, I'm going to do that to France as well. Go down here, click France, press enter. I'm going to go back into Wikipedia. And where's my search? Okay, let me just go back here. Okay, I'm going to type in France. Yeah, I might do this a little quickly. Go to Wikipedia, click here. And I'm just going to take all this right here, and left click and highlight everything here. So now just be careful when you're copying. You don't want to highlight all the blue parts. Okay, so if everything is blue, that means it's going to be all copied. You just want to get the part you want. So you have to move the mouse very carefully. I'm just going to go right there and press Control and C. Go back into my document. I'm going to press Control and V. And once again, I'm going to go right here, the paste options, and click this one right here to remove the formatting. And I get some mistakes there because it doesn't recognize it. That's fine. So I'm going to do that to China as well. Go and let's look for China. Press enter. Yeah, go into Wikipedia. And I'm going to remove all this, copy all this, sorry. Press Control and C. And then press Control and V. And once again, I don't want the coloring. I'm going to move right here and press this option right here. And okay, I'm going to click here, Oman and Jamaica, and I'm going to press Control and Enter because I want them on a new page. Okay, so I'm going to just click the mouse over here, press Enter, and I'm going to go back to my browser. Let's go back here. Let's try Oman. Okay, so Oman is right there. Where's the wiki? Oh, here it is, Wikipedia. Okay, I'm just going to left click, put the mouse right here, press left click and hold. Press Control and C. I'm going to go back to my document and press Control and V. And once again, make sure I remove the formatting, that one. And finally, I'm going to go here to Jamaica. Go down here, click Jamaica, Wikipedia, and highlight all this. Press Control and C, and press Control and V. And once again, I want to remove the formatting. All right, so this is what I get here. Okay, so what does that have to do with styles? Well, I'm going to highlight the word Canada, and then I'm going to press the Control key because I want to highlight multiple text. Press and hold the Control key. Now left click and highlight France. Now don't take your, you can, don't, actually, you know what? Yeah, you can take your finger off the Control key as long as these two are still highlighted, and you can move your mouse down. Press the Control key again and left click and highlight China. Move down, take your finger off the Control key. Now put your finger back on the Control key, left click and highlight, and take your finger off the Control key. Now left click and highlight again. All right, so now I have all the titles highlighted or selected. So now I'm going to go into styles, and this is where styles really comes in hand. I'm going to click, let's say heading 1. Just I'm going to click it, and when I do that, I get this. Okay, so the headings have changed their format. It's blue now. It's blue, and it's a special. It's been assigned a special setting, okay, with styles. Now that setting with styles allows me to create a table of contents, and this is where styles comes really in hand. Okay, so I'm going to put the mouse right here. I'm going to press Control and Enter. Okay, so now I have a blank page right here. So now I'm going to click up here, and I'm going to go into References, and I'm going to click right here, Table of Contents. Click it, and I'm going to click this one right here. When I do that, okay, as you can see, it creates a table of contents based on the styles. So what the table of content did, and this is where I use styles a lot with table of contents. The styles allows the table of content to extract just the words here: Canada, France, China, Oman, Jamaica, and it pulls all that out and it creates a table of contents like this, and it gives me the page number of where those style headings appear. So that's what styles are really good for this sort of thing. Okay, so styles. Okay, now, like I said, you don't have to know the table of contents, how to create table of contents, but generally, if you to create a table of contents, you have to go into References and you go Table of Contents. But before you do that, before you can do any of that, you have to apply a style to, let's say, your title. So you have to highlight the word, go into Home, and just click a style here. And you have to do that to all the headings on each of the pages. So that's where the styles comes really in hand, and that's where I think that's probably where it's used most commonly. Okay, let me just see if there's any questions. Okay. Okay, Ezedine, what's you said I don't know how it works. Which one are you talking about? Oh, okay, you're talking about the break. Okay. Yeah, Ezedine, we just came back from the break about 15 minutes ago. Let me give you a more definitive time for setting up the breaks. I just have to I'll give you a more set time tomorrow. Okay. All right. All right. So let me just see what else we have here. Okay, now there's one thing here called themes, and so let me just go here. All right, so themes. Themes. This is something I've never used themes, and I've rarely had the cause to use themes. Themes. Let's read this. Themes are pre-designed sets of colors and fonts and effects. So themes are available in all Office applications. So to apply a theme, you click the theme button in the document formatting group in the design tab, and you click a theme name in the drop-down gallery. So a theme is, let me just go back into Microsoft Word. All right, so if I go into design, click the design tab, I have document formatting. And what the themes do, the themes just allows you to have an inbuilt set of colors and font sizes and fonts that it'll apply to your document. Okay. So here, I click here, I have all these inbuilt font theme types, and I can apply them to my documents. So I have, for example, I have Office, Facet, Gallery, Integral, and if I cycle through them, okay, you can see there's some changes it makes to this particular document. So here's Ion, here's Slice, and you can see the subsequent changes it's making to the document. So that's what a theme does. It comes with pre-built-in font sizes, font colors. Now, if I go here, I can, let's say, where's here? If I go here, I can have more options in terms of applying colors to different fonts and so on. Okay, so and I can also change the font type. Now, like I said, you won't be using this very much. Okay? I've never had any cause to use it. I don't know people who use it in that much. I don't know anyone who has actually used it. But all it is, if there's a question on the exam, on the quiz, it'll say, well, what do themes do? It's just a pre-built set of formatting that you apply to text. Just for your information, somebody asked, how do you change the background color of a page? Well, if you go into design, you go right here to the corner, you have page color. So if I click page color, I can go down here, apply the standard colors, pick the standard color, and you can apply these type of colors to your background. If I want, I can also apply a page border. So I make sure I'm in design and go here to page border. And when I click page border, this interface comes up and I have borders, page border, and shading. So if I click a page border, I have these options here. Here I can get a box, I can get a shadow border, and here I have the style thickness of the lines. So I'm going to click this one right here and click OK. And as you can see, this is what I get here. So I get that type of border. Let me just go back to page border, and I'm going to go, let's just go back up here and click none. And click OK. So to get rid of the borders, you go back in to page borders, and you go click none and click OK. There's also, to show you, there's a thing called watermark. If I click here, watermark, I can apply a watermark to my document. So if I click this one right here, now you can see the word confidential in the background. So if I go back into watermark, and I can say, let's say draft, that's what it looks like there. And let's say do not copy, and so on. And let's see. And if I want to remove the watermark, I just go down here and click this one, remove watermark. Okay, anyone have any questions about that? Like I said, the stuff we did on the styles with the table of contents, okay, you won't have to know anything about the table of contents. I just thought I'd show that to you. Or the watermark or the page color or the page borders. That's just something I thought you might want to see. Okay. Okay, anyone have any questions so far? Vera, no? That was quick. Okay, right. Let's just see what else we have to cover here. Okay, done align, done visuals. Uh, okay, let me just jump to the tabs, the bullets. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so bullets. This is a very interesting topic. I'm going to go back to Microsoft Word. Let me just undo everything. Let me just press Control A and delete everything. All right, so bullets. If I go into Home, I have these options here under Paragraph. Okay. I have bullets, and I have numbered bullets, numbering here. Okay, create a numbering list, and I have here multi-level list, and this is good for outlines. So if I click right here, okay, I can get more information in terms of what I can do. Let's say in terms of indenting and spacing and line breaks. We'll talk about this in a second. So let me just click out of that and click cancel. Okay, so a bullet. What is a bullet? Well, here's a bullet. I'm going to say Ford. Enter. Let's say Toyota. Let's say Kia. And let's say Chrysler. Tesla. Okay, so I pressed enter after I typed these words. Okay, so a bullet. So if I want to create bullets, okay, bullets are just the circles that you get, or symbols that you get beside a point that you want to make. I'm going to highlight everything right here and go right here and click this right here. Okay, and that's what I get. So I get a bullet point right here. Let me just press undo. I'm going to keep it highlighted, but this time I'm going to press this one right here, the arrow. And now I can choose the different types of bullets. Okay? And I can cycle through these. As you can see, I have a square here. I've got a empty circle here. I've got this symbol right here. I've got that. I've got a check mark, and I can create my own bullets as well. So if you want to, just create a bullet, you want to add a bullet to, let's say, a word or a sentence, okay, you can just highlight it. If it's just one sentence, like here, I can just click right here in front of the word Ford and click this one, and that'll give me a bullet just for that word, and it indents it over. If I do click right here in front of Toyota and click here, that's what I get here. Now let me just try this one right here. I'm going to highlight this right here, and I'm going to go right here to numbering. Okay, and when I click numbering, that's what I get. So it gives me a number with a full stop, a space, and the information that I want. Okay? And it sequentially numbers all of this right here. Okay. Now there's a small little activity that I need you to do. And that's going to take about 25 minutes, right? Here. And click OK. Okay, and this is what I get here. So as you can see, once again, it's not fully justified. So with columns, you just have to go back into Home, make sure it's all selected, and click this one right here. Okay. Press Control J. And as you can see, it's all properly formatted, properly aligned. So let me press Control and Z to undo this. That. And let's see what else. Okay, now let's just talk about referencing. So I'm not sure how your future courses are going to be worked out in terms of essays and reports, but you'll probably have to do some type of essay writing and write reports. And in that case, you'll have to know how to properly reference your text, okay? So I'm going to just delete some of this information here. I'm going to just say go up here and delete all this. Actually, let me just delete this part here. Okay, so if I go into references, this tab right here, references, I have these options right here, like citations, bibliography, captions, index, table of authorities. I have research and footnotes. The ones I will focus on right now are footnotes and citations and bibliography. Okay, so most of you are familiar with how to write a footnote or an endnote, okay? So here it says AB1 insert footnote, okay? And if I hover the mouse over it, there's a shortcut key. Just getting going. Okay, so insert footnote. So if you hover the mouse there, the screen tip tells you you can add a footnote at the bottom of the page, providing more info about something in your document. And as you can see, there's a shortcut key. Press Alt, Control, and F. Okay, so how do you insert a footnote? Well, you insert a footnote by, first of all, let's say this line right here. Okay, I'm just going to this sentence here. Let's say I took that sentence from the internet. Okay, I said, I just copied off the internet. I want to insert a footnote. So what I do is, let me just highlight this sentence, and I'm going to go into Home and B, just so that you can see it. Yeah, maybe I'll italicize it too, so you can see it more. Okay, so let's say I took this sentence from some other text, from some, or maybe some newspaper or some journal or some academic book, and I want to footnote it. So what I can do is I can just put the mouse right at the end right here, the cursor. Just move that here. Go back into insert, and I'm going to go right into references, and I'm going to go insert footnote. And when I insert the footnote, this is what happens. I have a line that appears right here and a 1 right here. Now, if I go back up here, I can see there's a 1 right here. And if I hover the mouse over the 1, my mouse changes into like a little, there's a little graphic image attached to it. Okay, so that's telling me that this has been footnoted. So what I can do is when I see the footnote, I can just go down here and I can say what I can say taken from the web. So that's how you put a footnote in there. If let's say create another footnote, let's say one right, let's say one right here. I can go insert footnote again, and now I have 2. And now I see the word 2 right here. I should have put the 1 before the full stop here. Okay, so 2, and now I can just go down here and put, I can just, type whatever. So, footnotes are very easy. You just put a mouse where the cursor where you want to put the footnote, and you can go insert footnote. If I click this one right here, show footnotes. Let me just see. Okay. Okay, sorry, that's show notes. That doesn't apply. All right, so now here, insert endnotes. Okay. If I hover the mouse over here, it says add a note like a comment or a citation providing more information. Okay, something in your document. Now this should go in the last document. Okay, so that's why it's called an endnote as opposed to a footnote. So it essentially does the same thing, but it should go into the last document. Let me just see. I'm going to click right here. I'm going to type in insert endnote. Okay. No, it's not. Okay, so it just goes to the. Okay, my mistake. I always thought it went to the last page. Okay, so it just does this. Okay. That's new to me. Okay, so all right, let me just undo this. All right, so the footnotes now. Let's talk about this one: citations and bibliography. And I'm just going to do another. I'm going to press Control and N and do a new document. I'm going to press equal to RAND and 2, and let's say 10 lines. Okay, so now go back into references. Okay, so let's. I'll tell you what. Let's take a break right now. Okay, let's take that 20-minute break, and just come back at 12 o'clock. Citations. So this will be sort of on. You might have a question or two on the quiz about citations. So here in the references. Okay, so I click references. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. All right, so if you click references, okay, just put the mouse here and click it, you get this ribbon of tools here. And this group right here is called citations and bibliography. So citations, now I think most of you have written even a high school essay, and you know you have to do citations. If you take someone else's ideas, you have to properly cite that. So when you think about it, everything you probably read is someone else's idea. Now here under insert citation, if I hover the mouse over insert citation, the screen tip will tell me some information in terms of how to create the what it does. Now before you do anything, you have to determine what is the style, right, of your citations. Is it APA, American Psychological Association, the Chicago citation, and you have these other citations here as well. Where's MLA? When I was studying, it was MLA and APA. So this just means the citation, the APA, MLA, all this simply means, and these as well, it just refers to how you cite your information. Sometimes they will say, okay, write his last name first, and the first name, and then the year, and so on. Okay, so some of these have different citation standards. Okay, like I said, the most common one in North America is the APA and the MLA. So I'm not sure which one what they use here. I'm guessing it's one of these two. All right, so let's say I'm just going to leave it at APA, the American Psychological Association. So now let's just say I'm going to press the. I'm going to go here to view, okay. And if I look here, zoom, I can zoom in as well. And if I click it, this dialog box appears, and I can modify the zoom from here as well. So if I click 100, that's going to get a little smaller. So let me go back up here. Zoom and let's go up to 200. Okay, and it needs a little bigger. Now, if it's too big or if it's too small, you can adjust it right from down here. I can zoom once again, zoom in and zoom out from here. Okay, so let's just say that let's say this you've taken information. This sentence here is not has to be cited. This is an author's someone else's idea, and you've got to say where you got it from. So if you click the mouse right here before the full stop and go back into references and you click right here, insert citation, you have these two options here, add new source and add new placeholder. So let's click add new source. Now, when you do that, this comes up. Now, it's when you do the citations, it's very easy to do the bibliography because here's an option for bibliography. And in order to do the bibliography, you have to do the citations. So let's just say that last sentence right here, this last sentence here, save time in Word, new button, so forth. Let's say I got that from some author. And who's the author? Well, I need to put his first name and the last name. Okay, so let's say the last name is Smith, comma, Joe. So that's the author, and it has to be in this particular order. Now, what type of source is it? Is it a website, a book, a journal? Let's say it's a book. Now I can put the title here, and that's good to for the. You don't have to put this information here, but it's good that you do for the bibliography. So I'm going to say a title. Let's say name of the book, and I put the year here. So I'm going to say it was done in, let's say, 2008, published. Let's say the city is Montreal. Okay, Montreal. And okay, let's say the publisher. Publisher, I'm not sure. Let's say the Bantam House. Now, you can put more information here by clicking this one right here, show all bibliography fields. Click this one. And now I can put the state or the province, the country. And as you can see, I can put a lot more information here. So here is the recommended field. Okay. So if you see the red star, that's where you really should put some information in. Okay. So we've done that. And now I'm going to click OK. So this is what happens here. It takes the last name, it automatically figures out the last name, and it puts the year here. So once again, this is the APA styling. As I recall, with APA styling, the last name of the author is first, and then comma, and then you put the year. So now, let's just try another one here. I'm going to go, let's say, to this sentence right here. Okay, let's say this was all from another author. I'm going to just click right in here. And I'm going to go back into references. Okay, I'm going to go insert citation. And now I'm going to click another source. Okay, now I could click new placeholder. Okay, and this new placeholder will just create a temporary holding so that I can, let's say I don't know, let's say I'm not sure where the source comes from, but it comes from a source. Well, I can create a temporary placeholder for that. But I'm just going to go here and create a new source. And so this time I'm going to say, let's say, so I have all these options here, and report, website, an art source, a recording, sound recording source, a film source, interview, patent source. Let's just say it's where's the newspaper? Is there a newspaper here? Should be a newspaper. The newspaper. That's interesting. There's no newspaper here. Okay. I'm just going to say a journal article. And once again, the author. Okay, so here is the example of how you put the person's name. So the last name comes first. So I'm going to say Kramer. And let's say Cindy. So once again, you put the title. So the title is going to be new cars. And whatever journal that came out of, let's say it's New England Medical Journal. The year it's published, so let's say 2010. The page numbers and so on. So if I click here, more bibliography information, so I can get a sense of which I should put in there. Okay, so I've got all of them except pages. Okay, so let's say now here when you click it, it gives you the example here of what you should do. Right, so I'm going to say pages 20 to 30. And just go down, and I have all these other options too that I can put if it's a journal. So as you see, if you're a writer and you're writing a report and you want actual very detailed information in terms of what to put in, you can do that here. So now I'm going to click OK. So this is what I get here, Kramer and the year 2010. So now I'm going to just let's say just move down here. Put the cursor right here. Okay, so now that I have two sources, two citations, I can go in and create a bibliography, right? So the bibliography is very easy. You just click right here. Okay? And now I have these options here. I'm going to click this one right here. This is the basic one for bibliography. So I click this one. Okay, and that's what I get. So it automatically gives me a bibliography. So as long as you do the citations, okay, it'll figure out what to put in for the bibliography. So that's one of the good things about the citations and the bibliography, how they work together. Yeah, if I go right here, manage sources, this dialog box appears, and I can edit the two citations that I put here. So here I have a current list, and this is the current what's currently there. And here I have your master list. Now, what you really have to do doesn't really matter, but when you click one of these, let's say I'm going to click this one here and go here, edit, I can go in and change any information. And if I go here, yeah, I can click all that, and I can just re-edit that information and put new information in there. Cancel that and close that. Okay, and let me just, I think that's it. Let me just go back and check. Okay, there's one more thing I have to mention. Okay, on right here on layout, I think I was looking at the exam on Friday, and there's something about a question here about orientation. All right, so here it says orientation. Change page orientation. If I click this, I have two options, portrait and landscape. And just know that there are two options, portrait and landscape. So portrait is what is currently the default value. If I click landscape, okay, this is what I get here. Let me make it smaller. So I get a landscape formatting here. If I go back to orientation and click portrait, that's what I get right here. And once again, you can change this. If I press Control and P, I can change the orientation from here as well. So like I said, there's a lot of duplication that goes on in these in in the ribbons here. Now, did I want to talk to you about something else?